This is a detailed review of each Livayo feature. We are in the Y screen, and we're talking about how to complete the Who Are You section. So as we talked about in the previous video, this is the overall Y screen. And at the very top, we start with Who Are You? I do want to remind you or show you that there's a little piece right here called Last Modified. And that's because it records the last time there was a change made to the overall page. So our recommendation, of course, is that perhaps the owner should have a monthly routine or a quarterly routine to once a month, say on the fourth Friday of each month for 30 minutes, they have a routine where they review the Y screen for changes. You might even want to do it more frequently. Or you might want to include it in a meeting, but you set it up as a routine. It's just so surprising to me that sometimes a company will go 6, 7, 8 months and they kind of have shifted in their strategy. Their vision has modified a little bit. How they kind of define their product and customer has changed, and yet they don't really go back and change the documentation about that. And so we propose that you set up a routine to review the Y screen and modify it. And of course, this puts the date of when it was last modified. So the first section is Who Are You? And this is where you put in your name. And the name is not just about the name. You got to put in about, why did you call yourself that? What's significant about that? So for example, we are Livayo Inc. So we're incorporated as a C Corp. And the name of our software is Livayo. And then Livayo means live with joy. Now, we have a whole part in our website devoted to why we call it that and where that name comes from. But that's what we put here. Then we have, okay, well, who's your owner? So I'm currently the 100% share owner. Then the question is, who is the leader? This is a key part of Livayo. So I have implemented Livayo at enough places that it has produced sometimes some challenges, because when you have multiple owners, they haven't really ever decided who the leader is. In fact, I would suggest that sometimes small businesses survive because you don't define who that is. And so I'm not suggesting that there should just be one leader. You might want to put, each partner is a leader. You might want to put in there who the leader is in different roles. I'm just suggesting that in a small business, at some point, there needs to be a role of leadership. And again, Livayo is not about leadership. Livayo is about management and execution. But it does look to, and it does respect the fact that there has to be someone or a set of people who serve as the leader. And then finally, what is your size? So the size is an important feature, because what you're asking there is, how big are you? Are you, 10,000 employees or 10 employees? It matters in terms of how people think about you, but it also helps you position as a company kind of a unified view of how big you want to be. I have been in a small business where there was not alignment in terms of the eventual size of the company, and it influenced decisions early on. So this is where you attempt to get together as a group and say, okay, how big do we want to become? And you can define that in terms of either revenue or numbers of employees. So this is the section for who you are, and that's an example of how you can fill out the who you are section in the Y screen.